Welcome back. It's probably May by the time you're watching this, but when I filmed it, it was April, and it was blooming cold. Check out the blue clouds in the sky. Enjoy the video. Before you get in, can you just check you're subscribed? If you're not subscribed, why not? Comment down below. Want to contact me, Church House Classics, it's all one word, at gmail.com. And if you fancy buying me a pint, metaphorically or otherwise, then there's a PayPal me link scrolling along here. It's also in the description. Enjoy the video. These blades are bloody good. I'm going to tell you now, really good. I've been through two and doled them. I'm into my third. Why, what on earth have you been doing, Richard? I've been cutting through these fixings on this A-frame arm and I've got it out. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So, you can see there, that bolt was seized into the bush. Goody! Bloody marvellous. And it does look like that arm is starting to come free from that, so I'll get one arm off and see if we can't then push the bushes out. Remains of the bolts and bits and bobs that I've had to cut off one at a time. Yeah, fun. Right, let's see if we can't push these bushes out now. And then I've got another nose, but you can see that wasn't really doing much. It was right on the end of its life. It needed change. It wouldn't have passed the MoT like that, or it shouldn't have done. Well, that's been gone for a while, so God knows what they did last year. Oh dear. Right. Oh my goodness. I'm exhausted after that. Might just chop the rubber off the end of that and then just push the bush out. They might even be, I don't think they are poly, I think they're rubber. Like I said, that's got a bit of a blue tinge to it, isn't it? I think they're rubber though. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. It's just that the separate stainless sleeve on the inside there makes me somewhat suspicious. So I'll see if I can get the sleeve and the rubber out intact. Right. I think on that basis I can start now to pull this thing apart. I still need to sort out the oil leak on the back of the diff pan. I don't quite understand how I'm going to do that just yet. But at least now I can get this A-frame done. That's one further job done. Oh! Busted! Yes, it's definitely coming off there. Look at that. I'll see if I can't just knock that off the splines and see if I can't knock the joint off the bolts and see if we can't go somewhere. Once this is off, you see, I can put a bit more lube in there and we'll see where we are. I've got the arm off that was already showing signs of moving, as you can see. Lots of dry rust in the bolt holes. Yeah, a little bit of lube would have got around that. A little bit of copper grease or any grease on the thread of the bolt would have resolved that. Unless, of course, they were just planning on putting these in, and it was going to be the very, very last thing that was ever going to happen on this vehicle before it got bailed. I don't know. I need to get that out next, so I'm going to go and see if I can push that out on the press. We'll give it a go. And, yeah, so this, I'm really struggling with it. I've managed to get it to shift that far, and then it stopped. Cut the bolt heads off, obviously. And then I've been spraying lots of lube in there to see if I can't get it to move. Even just a little bit would be nice. And again, the reason I think these are poly is because it's kind of got a stainless shield through there. What sort of poly they are, I couldn't tell you. I'll see if I can't get them out. Right, onwards. Right, well, I managed to press the tube out of the inside. So it's a bit warm at the moment, but I managed to press the tube out of the inside, and then I've been pushing the remains of the bolt out of the tube. Again, bone fucking dry. So how am I doing this? Right, I'm using impact sockets. I found out that the bolt will sit comfortably inside a 3/4 socket. And I've got a 3/8 socket that goes in the top end there. We'll see if we can't continue to push this out. That's a pain. It won't quite go into that, so let's do that. And still not fixed my gauge. I need to get another gauge, but I'm not really working at any tonnage here. This is barely a ton going into this. Come on, in you go. Down, 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 down. Right, there we go. I like to do this two-handed normally, just to make sure that it is going down level, which I don't think it is. You stand there for a second. Just pushing the bolt through. We're going to get another socket. Put another socket on the top there, and we'll just continue to push it down. I was rather hoping to use the impact extension bar, but I think that is just a bit wishful because I can't get the thing high enough. It's going to work. It should work. I'm just going to put this a little bit higher, and that can go in there and on there. And again, we can. Right, as soon as I get any load on it, that basically means it's bottomed out in the socket at the bottom for now. So let me just lock that off there. Take that out. Take that out. Yeah, I've just managed to push it into the socket, so then we go back to the bench, because I'm not putting massive load on this thing, but I want enough load on it that I can get the bastard thing out. And then I can reutilise the suspension bushes. Oh, there's my tripod there. Monsieur le tripod. There we go. That comes off there. So again, I'll cut this off with an angle grinder. Go back to, in fact, we might even be able to just drift this fucking thing out now. It's that close. Let's see if we can do it without the press. Is that going to go in there? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look at that. One sleeve retrieved. Right. Now we've got that out, which is good news. I'm still struggling by getting this off here. I might lube those bushes up before they go in properly, but now what I've been doing with this is I need to utilise the services of Mr. Tappy here, which I have left on the bench. And I've got this chappy, which is acting a bit like a wedge, although it more or less has now reached the end of its wedgeness. If I was to grind a bit more off that, I suppose, then I might be able to just get it to be a bit more wedgy. But the alternative is I could heat it up to cherry red, couldn't I? This one that is sticking, that one less so. So see if I can't get the reciprocating saw in there. this should now come off this other bolt. And I can push that out. I think it's going to be the easiest way of doing this. And that is scrap. I'm not even going to fucking bother with it. If that has not been kind of like responding to the amount of abuse that I've given it, I don't need it. I don't need it in my life. You can get these new. Right, let me go and see if I can push this out. It should be amusing, shouldn't it? Right, see if we can't get this bastard out. So, what I want to do now is to get the bolt out of there. I don't need those two. They can go in my pocket and go back in the box in a moment. I don't need that there. I'll probably want these two the other way round so that I can shoot the bolt through that hole there. That'll work. It's reasonably flat. We'll see what happens. So if I balance that against my chest, position that over there, and tighten the... now I've got the camera is in the way of the... Right, come on you bastard. Probably could do with a bit more light in here really, but never mind. Let's just see if that goes in. This bolt should... No, it's not gone level. Oh, it started to move. Let's do it like that. There we go. Is that going to work? Nope. Right, okay, let's do it with sockets then. Is it going to work with a socket? Fucking thing. It's because there's a mark on the face. I'm going to need to find a smaller bolt, aren't I? How are we going to fucking do this? It needs to come out. Do I just knock 7 bells of shit out of it? Which would be the I'm getting fed up with this job approach, or do we try this side instead? Right, let's tighten you up again. Oh, God help us. This comes out, I can put this back on. I need to really service this press. I'm sure I've got some air in it. Oh, you fuck, right. Right, let's see if that doesn't work. That's too risky. Let me try bashing 7 mils of shit out of it. Right, I got it to move, and it went off like a fucking gunshot, scared the crap out of me. It had a fair few tons on it. Look at the amount of rust on the end of that. So, I got it to shift that much. And you can see it's drier than a witch's tit. So let me go and get the 3/8 bar. And I can continue to push it down. This is an impact socket, by the way, folks. So, I may have fucked it, I don't know. But there was no other way that was coming out. Right, let's see if this thing comes out now. For fuck's sake. See what I mean? This is a bolt, by the way. What a fucker. It's ludicrous. Bolts out. Holy crap, holy. It's out. Well, there we go. One miserable bastard off. One nice new joint on. He's up there somewhere. There he is. So that's all now torqued up. I just need to put the exhaust bracket back on, and then we're done at the back end here, apart from sorting out this axle oil leak. I've got to drain the axle down, work out what on earth is going on there. That was a nightmare of a job. Only because these bolts have gone in so dry, and I'm never going to get those out of there. Not on a month of Sundays. So yeah, that can go in the scrap bin. I had enough of that. And you can see all the concrete scarring from bashing that fucking A-frame arm around. But that's that done, and we are now 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. That's been about 3 hours to do that. Take the A-frame off, get the bolts off, and put it all back together again. Knackered. I put all the bolts in absolutely bone dry, by the way. Oh, and I mixed in some ground up rust, just to make the next person's job utterly miserable. Next person has to change this ball joint in about 5 or 6 years' time, or whatever. Let's make it as miserable as we possibly can. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, well, I'm pleased I've done that. Hey, it passed its MoT. Of course it passed its MoT. What's you like? Right, it needs a wash. I need to detail this thing up, really. Get the customer to come over and pick it up later on. Put as much of the interior back together as I've been given. I mean, the car arrived in a semi-stripped down state, so I'm not going to be able to put everything back into it. But yes, it failed initially because the rear seat back wasn't locked in an upright position. I gave it a hearty good slam. Mark was happy with that, and yeah, he gave me a pass. So yes, I think for this phase of the work, this particular car can go back to his owner for ongoing fettling. Absolutely sailed through on the emissions. It's amazing the difference a pair of decent cats will make to the overall cleanliness of the exhaust. It is as expected. The only slight disappointment was that after the biblical rain that we had, bearing in mind yesterday was May Day, bank holiday, we did encounter a bit of moisture in this side, and I think the moisture is coming in because this seal, this door seal, is absolutely shagged out. It's really not going to help it, is it? There's nothing good about the door seal. So it needs a new door seal. The customer's aware of that. I fixed the heater control because that wasn't going all the way around, and there's a reasonably complex set of levers on the side of the heater unit under there. One of them was very, very, very slightly out of alignment. Straightened it out, and that's all working excellently, splendidly now. So I'm going to put the rest of the interior back together again.